Alright, this is Boyd Knutson, and what I'm going to do here today is take you through a break-even spreadsheet. I've got the handout here in front of me, as you can see on the page here, where we're going to start. I'm pretty much going to go through this handout. First, we're going to start by going to, and I'm going to copy and paste this website right here, extension.iastate.edu. Right click on that. Did not work. Try it again if you fail at first. Keep your cursor over the highlighted portion. Right click, copy. Now I'm going to go to my browser, and in that box up in the corner there I'm going to right click and paste. That brings me to www.extension.iastate.edu. Hit enter, and it brings me here. Next, on this top bar here, we'll be using, I'm going to click Educational Aids and scroll down to Agriculture and Natural Resources, and click on that. At that point, I'm going to click on Agriculture and scroll down to Farm Management and click on that. Give you a second to catch up with me if you haven't so far. Now, down the left-hand side here, we're going to go to Ag Decision Maker under the heading of Farm Management. Click on Ag Decision Maker. Brings me here. Next, under Homepage on the lower left hand side here, I'm going to go down and click on Crops. Once I'm in the Crops section, I'm going to click on Decision Tools. And this brings up some options here. I'm going to go into crop decisions because that's what we want to do. We want to make some decisions about our crops, and we're going to use this tool to do that. I'm going to click on cost and return. This brings up many files that I could use for different various crops and different various decisions that I would like to do. I would like you to just scroll down and see the different options they have. Right here is a tool for crop rotation. It would help you to decide what to rotate, when to rotate, stuff like that. You can click on it at your own leisure. Here's for storage and drying grain. Some decision tool for that. Further down, crop insurance. Has some silage information there, corn stover, and rotation, profitability. These tools here help take a lot of the guesswork out of farming. Prior to this, prior to tools like these, a lot of farming is just a trial and error. Now we can benefit from other people's trial and error because it's documented, and they have provided that for us. Iowa State obviously has taken a lot of pains to go through that and do it for us. So after you looked around there, what we want to end up at is this break-even worksheet for crops. Go ahead and click on that. On mine, it doesn't immediately come up. It comes down into this download bar, and I have to click on that. An Excel spreadsheet should pull up for you. Up in the top toolbar, or you might have a window that pops up, you will want to look for Enable Editing. Click on that Enable Editing. This will give you access to that file. It is now able for you to use it, change it, and save it to your computer, desktop, wherever you would like to save it to. We're going to want to save this file right away so that we don't lose any changes that we made to it, data that we made to it. So we're going to go in the upper left hand corner, actually I think I gotta make my window here bigger so we can see that. We're going to select File, Save As. Now mine, I'm going to save as desktop right now. If you don't have a folder or anything set up, you can just do that. And I'm going to change the name here. Right now I'm at my desktop location. I'm going to change the name to Spreadsheet Test. I'm not going to actually use this later, but I'll know that's what it is. I can get rid of it. Click on Save. We're back at the spreadsheet. Down in the lower left hand corner now you will see two things. You'll see Example, which is where you're at. Sounds like my wash machine or dryer is done, so I'm going to go change that out. Down on Example you have two toggles. You have Example, which is where you're at, and Blank. You're going to want to click Blank. The blank one here is what you're going to use to fill out and enter your own inputs. The inputs where you'll be entering stuff is all these yellow boxes. Obviously you can enter name. I'm going to type my last name. Over here, one example on the right hand side, you can select your own crop that you want to add to it. Here they have pre-selected ones, which would be corn and soybeans in these categories. But over here, this farmer or somebody wanted hay. I don't know why it's still on the blank sheet, but we're going to delete that. I'm not going to have anything. I strictly have corn and soybeans. Another feature of this spreadsheet is you can hold your cursor over that red arrow and it'll give you some hints on how to use that cell. Each of these yellow boxes is a cell. This one, for example, the land rented under a 50-50 crops share lease, yada yada yada. You can read it for yourself there. Unless you go through this, it'll be hard to understand what that means. So you're going to enter data for each of these. You can enter it in three different ways. You would enter as a whole farm cost, and with that you would enter a percentage of crop that is under that whole farm cost. That's one option. Another option is total cost for the crop, which is this column. Third option is cost per acre, which is this column. Different data will have different ways of entering it. For example, my insurance is a cost per acre. So I would enter $70 per acre for one type of insurance on that crop, corn. So you will enter that. You can also go down here. This is other cash incomes that you may have in these boxes right here. This box here, you'll enter total acres in that crop, whether it's rented or not. This is an optional portion. I don't think we'll be doing anything with that for our class, but that's an option later as a farmer that you might use. And down here it gives your outputs. What we're looking at specifically is this net cash flow break-even selling price per bushel or ton. This tells us what we will have to have for each of our crops in order to break even. That is, all of our costs are making our household budget, all of that entered in, and we would have to make this dollar amount on each of those crops in order to break even, have our budget balance out to zero. So if you want to look back, I'm going to click on example again. These are some of the inputs that the example has. I'm going to go down to that outputs. That outputs, they had to sell their corn at $4.18 per bushel in order to make in order to break even. I shouldn't say make money. In order to break even. Their soybeans, they had to sell at $11.56 per bushel to break even. And their hay, I believe, I'm going to scroll up and see, yep, hay, they had to sell at $108.23 per ton. Hay is measured in ton. So there's a little tutorial on getting started in that. If you have any questions, please ask your teacher. And you have fun with that. Please mess around with it and find out what this spreadsheet can do for you. Thank you. Bye.